Scott, the midterm elections are now past us. What does this mean for foreign headquartered companies doing business in the United States? We call those inbound companies.
Sure, Chris, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and your clients. So first, from a tax perspective, what the results portend is a little bit of gridlock on tax issues. I'm not entirely sure we'll see gridlock on all issues. In fact, I think there's an opportunity for some kind of deal to be struck, perhaps on infrastructure. But from a tax perspective, what the divided Congress means, where Democrats control the House and Republicans control the Senate, is that there will have to be some kind of bipartisan deal made on tax if they want to do a tax deal. There is no longer an opportunity to use the reconciliation mechanism that Republicans used to pass tax reform in 2017. In other words, they don't have the tool available to them that allows a mere majority vote. Therefore, they'll have to get 60 votes in the Senate. And even if Republicans continue to hold strong in the Senate, it looks like they'll have well over 50 votes. They don't have 60, which means they still need Democrats to cross the aisle. What that means from any company perspective, and specifically for inbounds, is that they will have to use relationships with Congress mainly to help put pressure on Treasury. So all the action really, which has been the case for a while, most of the action is at Treasury. It will only further bolster the fact that Treasury is really where the action is. Treasury is writing the regulations to implement tax reform and to potentially make any tweaks to tax reform that are within their authority. So you want to have two plays. One is to talk to Treasury directly, but the second is to have a story to tell with the members of Congress who also may be interested in putting some pressure on Treasury. And you have a whole new field to play with because the Democrats in the House of Representatives are now going to be more empowered and more interested in playing in that space.
Well, Scott, it certainly sounds like there's a period perhaps where legislative changes is a little less likely in terms of tax. So what that means is there's probably greater stability and a little more certainty, which many companies crave and desire. It sounds to me, though, that with regulations coming out over the next few weeks, that companies need to continue to pay attention to those regulations, make sure they assess it, and bring any concerns to Congress, to Washington, to make sure their concerns are heard. Certainly there is a period of time for them to comment on those regulations.